IPMNation.com.
And joining us via phone, I believe our guest is here. Is this Branden Fisher?
This is. How we doing, Matt?
Good. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. It's great to talk to you. John Hopwood is here with us as well.
Hi.
And so, Branden, I'm anxious to talk to you because you've got a couple of really interesting podcasts online that people can check out. And I wanted to talk about the new one first because it's called DeadTube, and it's such an interesting and unique concept. When I first found out about it, I was like, what's this? This is really cool. But why don't you tell us about what that is, DeadTube?
Yeah, sure. The DeadTube podcast is essentially what it is. It's a radio play show that I'll take the scripts from old television sitcoms, like anything from like the 70s on to recent days. Like we've done Seinfeld, Arrested Development, Home Improvement, whatnot, and I'll have people reenact them, but I'll turn them into horror stories. So, like, I'll take a script from Seinfeld, like we did the Soup Nazi was our first one, and you add some horrifying music in the background and modulate the voices a little bit and change the story a little to just add that little bit of an extra creepy touch to it.
Yeah. No, I think that's really, it's something that I never would have thought of. I mean, what gave you that idea? I mean, is it something that just sort of occurred to you, or was there something that kind of put that?
I mean, I have those kind of weird random thoughts all the time, but I like watching those old shows, and like I'll look at the wackiness that all those characters had, and I'd be like, oh my god, like in another world, like Ned Flanders would be the ultimate serial killer,
right?
But no one wants to tell that story, so I figured maybe I could find some way to make that happen. And I thought, I love radio plays and audio books and ways it's audio. Storytelling, so I figured it'd be a good way to try something out with it.
Yeah. You ever listen to those old, here on WMNH on Sundays, they play all these old radio shows, and it's all these radio plays from, some from the 70s and some from much earlier, and it's really interesting. I mean, you ever listen to those really early ones?
Well, I have. It's been a little bit since I've dabbled in the old-timey radio plays. I do have an appreciation for them. Lately, it's been a lot of like podcasts that sort of tell like those scary stories. Like I listen to a lot of the No Sleep podcast to get a lot of inspiration for it, and sort of give me an idea of like how to go about it. Because it's a great idea, but once you dive into it, it's way more work than I anticipated it would be.
Now, tell us about that, because I'm always interested in the process that people go through to do these things. I mean, when you say it turned out to be, we'll talk about the other show in a minute, but when you say it turned out to be a lot more work than you were expected, what do you mean exactly? Like, what is it about it that like with so many things in life that we endeavor to do, it seems like everything turns out to be more work than we really expect. But what turned out to be more work about it?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not complaining about it at all. But once you have the idea, you got to find the script, and then once you find the script, you got to find the appropriate cast that's going to fill all those players. And you got to make sure everyone reads their lines the right way, and make sure that everyone has all their lines. First off, I've done a couple episodes where people missed a bunch of their stuff, and trying to get back in touch with them to re-record everything was a hassle. And then you gotta get the right mood or atmosphere setting music, and I try to incorporate a lot of Foley sound effects, so when the time comes, I got to find the right spot to put it in, and before you know it, you got like 60, 70 tracks on like this 25-minute episode.
No doubt. John had a question.
Where do you find the scripts? I know you can find movie scripts very easily, but I've never seen a TV script online. Then again, I never looked for one.
Well, there are a couple sites that I'll go through. Google's a great source of info for it, but a lot of the ones that I've been looking into lately, I've been having a hard time doing, and I really want to do these episodes in particular. So, like, what I'll actually do now is if I can't find it online, I'll actually watch that episode again and write out my own sort of transcript.
Yeah.
Which again, it takes a little bit more time and work into doing it, but I'm also starting to tweak the stories as well, so that it caters to more of a scary genre, so that gives me a little bit more of a chance to work freely with it.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Mad Magazine, which I grew up in the early 70s. That's when I became a teenager, 1973. I was the same age as Richie Cunningham on Happy Days. We were going through school at the same time, seemingly. Yeah. Which was enough to give up TV forever in 1975. But they used to have parodies of TV shows. And at one point, My Three Sons, which was a big show with the baby boom, they brought in... somebody got married and they had triplets. And so in the show, Uncle Charlie is senile. And in one of the scenes, he has, wrapped the kids up in like grape leaves or something. He's putting them in the oven. And they're saying, "Wait, do you think Charlie's losing, his mind?" And he's like, paprika, he's putting stuff on the kids. Yeah. And he's going to put them in the oven.
I remember those too because
they were so funny.
Because when I was a kid, Mad Magazine was still around. I think it's still around today even. When I was a kid, it wasn't as big as when you were a kid. And then there was also another magazine called Cracked,
right?
Which was kind of a knockoff of Mad, and they would do those
parodies.
Those parodies as well, yeah. And some of them were pretty good.
At the time, they had some of the great artists, cartoonists, Mort Drucker and Jim Davis, and they were just hilarious because they'd actually like Maude. I remember that. And they got this, the brat kid says, "What are you up?" Adrienne Barbeau, with the cleavage hanging out in the which this was exciting in 13. It wasn't pornography except for snatching your father's Playboy or something. Right. He said, "What are you mad about?" He says, "I'm the only one here that's not divorced." Yeah. But it always spoke to what was really like the undercurrent in these shows being so loopy.
Yeah, and some of the humor would be really shocking, which was a lot of fun. Yeah. So now, is this something that you're gonna continue to do long term, like every week, or
the Brady Bunch?
Oh,
yeah. Well, right now I'm working on I guess since it's all television related, I was going to refer to it as season 1, where I get like a collection of 10 episodes together. Yeah. But then this is a new idea, and I kind of jumped into it without having any sort of prep work. So I do want to continue it, but I want to figure out a better way of going about it. And I'm assembling a sort of small crew together that's helping me rewrite scripts and get actors together and whatnot. So the next season is going to be way better than this one. But I do plan on continuing it for as long as I can.
Yeah.
There's always actors. Like if you're in a place like Los Angeles or even smaller, San Francisco, Boston, there's always actors, and they always are willing to do table reads.
Sure.
Or if you got a space together.
Where are you from, Branden? Are you? I have no idea where you're from. I just realized.
I live out in North Carolina. I'm about 30 minutes from Fort Bragg.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there's actors everywhere. I mean,
North Carolina had a movie industry for a long time.
It's a matter of finding someone that's like reliable and and free. Like they don't. I can't pay anybody right now.
Right.
Anyone that's wanting to do some free voiceover work that's consistent. And the main problem is getting people not to do silly reads.
Right.
I'll get so many people sending me stuff where it's not supposed to be a comedy, even though it's a comedy script, and all those kinks will get worked out.
That's
in time.
true.
Yeah.
There's a thing. I think I was talking about Matt's show. There was a great soft porno director called Russ Meyer who influenced a lot of people because they were just such satires on America.
Yeah.
And one of his biggest hit that wasn't actually like softcore porn was Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, and Roger Ebert wrote the script.
Yeah.
He just started becoming a critic like 1967, and he actually liked Russ Meyer, one of his movies, and they got together. And actors would come up to him because 20th Century Fox decided to make a movie because the movie he made, Vixen, made a fortune, and he made movies for hardly any money. And all the actors come up and says, "This is a comedy, right?" He says, "This is a comedy. We're supposed to be," and no, you have to play it straight. And one of the actors who Jonathan Demme picked up and is in all his movies said, "My God, this stuff is, it's funny, but he makes us like, it's Eugene O'Neill." But that's why it was so funny. Because he insisted everybody play it straight. And he would never admit to them that it was supposed to be a comedy.
Well, that's like The Room. What's his name? Tommy Wiseau. It's like they had to play it straight because to him it wasn't funny.
But but it was a satire. But by playing it utterly straight, it's just even more ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, tell us about the other show, Patrick. I mean, Branden, rather. I'm looking at a comment from Patrick in the Facebook live chat. That's why I'm thinking Patrick. Tell us about the other show that you do, Sack 'em Up Sundays. This one's been around for a while, right?
Well, it's been around for about 4 or 5 months now. I'm about 22, 23 episodes into it.
Yeah.
It's just an all nonsense comedy show I do with this guy I actually get my weed from, and we just he'll come over when he drops off his stuff, and we'll start the conversations out sober. And there's no real format to it. It's just us, talking crap. I ask him a lot of random hypothetical questions. He's a bit of a religious fanatic, so I like to ask him things that try to get him as uncomfortable as possible.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just silly stuff, like what superheroes would you put in a human centipede, or if you could travel back in time and put one band somewhere, who would you put? Just random stupid things like that, and it's just a good time.
Oh, that's great.
You should do that script, the human centipede.
Well, that's already.
Well, I do want to do movies when the time comes, but I feel like I think I can make Human Centipede a lighthearted comedy.
The Human Centipede is one of those movies that I literally wish I did not know existed. You know what I mean?
And there's a sequel too. I didn't see the sequel.
There's a sequel to Human Centipede?
Oh yeah.
There's 2 sequels.
There's 2 sequels?
Yeah, I thought the first one was pretty funny. It's just gross out of concept. And then you watch the second one, and the second one gets a little bit, that's a little too extreme.
What is
it?
The
third one is just ridiculously stupid.
What is it like? The second one, like Human Millipede or something? Like what? Like
somebody?
That's what they do. It's like, how can you make it more extreme? We'll just add more people onto it.
Oh, it's so awful. I just don't even. Anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, look it up, but do so at your peril.
A German surgeon creates a conjoined triplet. Let's put it that way.
Oh, boy. I don't even want to think about it. Oh, my goodness. Wow. So, I'm fascinated by the concept for Sack 'em Up Sundays. So your friend that you do this with, does he ever get upset and threaten to quit the show or anything? Or how does that, what's the dynamic like?
He'll get a little upset, and I can tell when I'm getting him a little too offended. So I'll back off a little bit, because I do want to keep him on.
Right.
And I'm not big on the whole religious discussions on it, but it adds some comedic content to it. So because I'm going to be honest with you, he doesn't really know what he's talking about. So I just let him I just let him ramble on for a little bit.
Yeah. It's all right. I caught it.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah. Oh, I have to use the dump button quite a bit on this show. Even with Mr. Hopwood over there, I've had to.
I got suspended for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Because there's also a TV broadcast.
Yeah.
Dump button.
He has a bit of a potty mouth. This guy over here, but.
Oh yeah, well that was the one thing I was concerned about coming on here. I was like, it's going to be an FM show. I got to keep my mouth under control.
That's right,
and you do.
Yes, no, you've done very well. Like I said, I mean we're on a delay, and that's why. So so tell us for our listeners where they can find these shows. I mean, obviously, I assume they're up on iTunes and wherever you find your podcasts, etc.
Oh yeah, I mean it's iTunes, Stitcher, Castbox, Podbean, anywhere where you listen to your podcast platforms that you can find us there.
Yeah.
Both shows are part of the Drama City Productions network over at dramacityproductions.com. You can check us out there, subscribe, give us those reviews, ratings. There's a bunch of other great shows on that network too. They're definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. I was looking at that site, by the way. There's a lot of great stuff on there. So, awesome. Well, like I said, I would encourage everybody to listen to both shows. And I like I said, I love DeadTube. It's such a unique and fun concept. And great, Branden. Thank you so much, my friend. It's been nice to talk to you, and we'll have to have you back on again in the future when you've got some more episodes out, especially of DeadTube, because I'm sure we'll have more to talk about in the future.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sounds great. Thanks for having me on.
All right, you got it, brother. Take care. Thanks, Branden. Bye-bye.
You have a good one.
You too.
IPMNation.com.